So this thing runs good. Here you go.
Really? You're gonna make me drive a Ford? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Frickin' Fords, man. Found on road dead, living up to the true Ford name. Frickin' rust bucket. I know that there is a way to fix this truck that is not the correct way to do it, but it'll get me by for now.
Cassidy! Cass!
Yo,
Yo, what's up?
what's this?
It's a truck from Dale that we used on Backroad Truckers.
Oh, nice.
What's up with the van?
Almost certain the computer's in it.
Like what?
Like the main computer that runs the van. Thought it was the fuel injector.
Yeah.
And because that's the code it was throwing, so we replaced the fuel injector. Still started like misfiring like son of. Replaced all the wires going to it. Still.
So it's super reliable is what you're saying?
I'm supposed to take it back to Jordan's tonight and we're gonna see if it needs a new computer. But if it continues driving, being messed up, you can wash the cylinder head or whatever.
How much does that cost? It's like, that's time and...
I don't know how much the new computer is gonna be. There's some more tests that we're gonna try to run and see if we can figure it out.
Okay, but it's a $2,000 minivan that's on its last legs that we put through the ring run. 7 seasons of TV shows. Backroad Truckers was in barriers through the winter. It's like a lowrider.
I know.
Like it's not meant, it's been rode hard and put away wet. So as soon as I heard it was having issues again and we put a bunch of money.
Well, the stereo stopped working
as soon as I heard that we're having issues again with it because I put a bunch of money in it. So this thing runs good, here you go.
Really?
So this is the deal, because this was in my company name when you're driving it.
Yeah.
So you need to put it in your name when you can.
Okay.
So you can have it under Big Ten Decent's production for now. We'll put you on as a driver and you're good.
You're gonna make me drive a Ford? No, I'm kidding, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Okay, so this is your truck. It's not a fancy truck, but it's a 4x4. It eats a bit of oil, but luckily, hold on right here, hold on. The one kind of good sponsorship deal that Michael got is Castrol. So we got a whole bunch of these at the office, and before I left, I'm like, oh yeah, this thing smokes and I need to top it up, the guy said. So here you go, you get a free gallon of oil for your truck. It runs fine. Like it was sitting for a month in the garage, it was okay. It's 4x4, it's got seat covers, it's kind of janky, but it's like better than that low riding like piece of trash, right?
That van.
The van's great, but it's like, I mean, it's
this
like,
is great.
It's a bit rough and it's like, but it seems fine and it's yours though. So you have to deal with insurance and all that stuff when you can, okay?
Thank you, Matt.
Okay?
Hell yeah.
It wasn't really expensive, but like.
No, mint.
And it's a Dale truck, so, you know, it's.
Yeah, whatever, I'll fix what's burning, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I got to go see Avery and get back to Vancouver, so so can I take the van?
Yeah, I gotta get my stuff out of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
let's go.
it misses really bad. You gotta.
It's fine. I just gotta get to Kamloops.
Okay.
And then I'm flying to Vancouver because then I'll get it to Barrier and then we'll maybe just use it to drive Brad's monster truck over it or something. I don't know. Like that's It's not worth putting any money into it.
Yeah.
Right? If this was yours, would you put money into it?
No.
No. There you go. Okay.
I had to just spend $240 on it though.
There you go. It's your truck.
That's okay. I need you to help me gut my van real quick.
Everything out. So you can tell Kat what you just got.
Matt just gave me that truck, and so we got to do a fast switch over because he's got to go to. Yeah. So anyways, just and yeah, there's a lot of garbage in here.
It's fine. Here's a bag of running shoes I'm gonna leave here because I'm gonna sell these on Poshmark or something. Or maybe I'll get you to do Poshmark, Kat. Or you, both of you. You can flog my shoes and we can buy an engine or transmission or something. Look, because these are like, I think for sure, these are worth like $200 all day long. This is like Mike collects cars. Over the last 7 years, what I do is, because I'm in Vancouver a lot by myself, I'll just go to the Nike store once every week or two, then I'll buy a pair of Air Force Ones. So again, this thing smokes, right? So you have to add oil to it and just keep an eye on it, but it drove from Vancouver.
Okay, yeah, well if it went over the Coke, it's good.
Yes, okay. We'll get the transfer sorted later.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
Okay, sweet.
Drive safe.
Thank you. Cassidy, what does Craig say? Drive fast, take chances. Mine is drive slow, don't take chances.
So Matt just showed up and tossed me some keys for this Ford here. A little still in shock because I wasn't expecting it, and he ended up taking my van to Kamloops, and he said that the production company's had that van for over 7 years and they put a bunch of money into it, and the fuel injector is having issues, and I think it was the computer, and so he said the van's done, and so he showed up with a new vehicle for me to drive. He actually gave this truck to me. The van I was just borrowing, but I really did love driving that van. It was awesome. It hauled so much stuff, and I like how the seats folded down, but this thing's gonna be great too. I'm not much of a Ford girly, but we'll see. I've never owned one, so I think it's gonna be good. There's definitely some repairs that need to be done to it, and I didn't get much out of Matt on what condition it's really like, so I still have to go over the truck and just see what needs to happen with it. All right, so my truck just broke down in the Walmart parking lot. It is pissing out fluid all over the parking lot right now. My truck is here. Dave just got here to the shop with my truck. It never got towed away from the parking lot, and it took him a couple days to get it picked up, but still in one piece except for whatever's leaking out. Well, I blew out all the antifreeze, but I guess these trucks, there's a pipe that leads into the back of the intake that's a return coolant pipe, and they rot out.
Yeah, it's aluminum base.
Yeah, and so anyways.
It's dripping hard.
Yeah, so that's what I'm pretty sure
I
it
think
is.
there is.
There is, but Dorman was 4 to 6 weeks out, and so, but Gilbert's brought it in from a different brand. And I just gotta fix it. Frickin' Fords, man. Found on road dead, living up to the true Ford name.
Tells you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Frickin' rust bucket. I feel like I break down more frequently than everybody else, but great, now we have to fix this today. I don't really know how we're gonna get into the shop, but attach a chain to your car. You can get the shot there. At least it was a free truck. Time to get this truck in the shop. It's got no antifreeze in it. The other funny thing about this is it has all these staples sticking out of the wall here, which I'm pretty sure holds a piece of wood that holds this mechanism to the wall, and I keep cutting my hands on them. Yeah. Plan for today, figure out why my truck pissed its pipes, and I know that there is a way to fix this truck that is not the correct way to do it, but it'll get me by for now, depending on where the pipe is cracked. If it is the pipe I think it is. Pretty sure I know what it is. I had the parts ordered in through Gilbert's because they're the only people that can get them to me if I have to do everything, but basically if I have to replace that pipe, I have to take off the intake manifold, which is kind of a job. And so we're gonna see if I can get this truck back on the road today using just a chunk of heater hose and some hose clamp. But if it's cracked too close to the block and I can't get a heater hose on it, I'm gonna have no choice but to rip off the intake, which is okay. It's just a lot of hours and about $300 in parts. So, well, Matt told me that I could borrow one of the vans, but I figure if I do this to the truck and I put new gaskets in it, the truck's probably gonna be fine. This pipe blew. I just rolled over 300,000 on this truck. So this truck is at 386,000. So I'm 86 kilometers over 300,000, and that's when that pipe blew. So, I mean, fair enough. At first I was confused at the color that was coming out of here. I thought that maybe I blew a head gasket because it was so weird colored, but turns out that's just how rusty the rad fluid was. So I'm gonna drain everything out of the system too, give it a little bit of a flush because it obviously needs it, and whatever. I just did the oil change on the truck, but truck's old, high K, needs some work. It'll be fine, but it's just a pain in the butt. I'm gonna pop the hood, see if there's even any rad fluid really left in it. I didn't move it very far, so I'm not too worried about it overheating. So if I can just dump some water in there, yeah, I would say that's empty. So I'm going to find a device that holds water and see if I can put something in here before I move it into the shop. It's all gonna piss out anyways. Oh, do you want to grab me a funnel? Sure. From that little back room there? Thank you. Get redneck, get wild. I wonder if it's just leaking out overboard. Is it? Oh, there's some in there. Yeah, so anyways, we're just gonna try to do this as fast as possible. I'm gonna try to make it easier to back this in. I'm just the worst backer-upper there is. Okay, but this time, if I'm about to hit something, you gotta scream. The last time I hit something, Kat did in fact not scream. She went, wait. Alright, I've got the truck pulled into the shop now. I'm trying to locate the leak, but it's so tight up in that engine bay that I actually can't get my eyes on where the fluid is leaking out from. I've put some more water in the system just to see if I can see where it's pouring out from. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna be a big pain in the butt. I'll say if there's just a drain plug instead of the two hoses there on the bottom, but there's a little plastic shield in the way. And what I want to avoid touching anything I don't have to, because the more things you touch, the more things you break. Oh, they put this motor back there. I might be able to see it from the back. Actively draining right where I need to be, so maybe we just let it drain itself out for a bit. You know what, I bet Google would tell us if there's a drain plug on the bottom of this before I rip that off. Or maybe even just a pair of pliers. 15 is too small. Yeah, that one, blue, yeah, top, nope, yeah. Fancy jet ones. Ooh. You want to grab that drain pan? Oh, that's so cool. And also, I'm not a mechanic, okay? We're gonna be learning as we go. There's a little plastic screw on the passenger side of the radiator down at the very bottom, and you just back it off, and then it comes out of, it's like a little T-pipe, so as you back out the little plastic nut there, it drains out of its own drain pipe. So, and as you guys can see, well, one way this is a huge mess, but very, very, very freaking rusty water. I'm assuming this thing hasn't had new coolant put in it or a flush done in a long time. No wonder she's angry. So we're gonna let this drain off until it stops dripping, and then I'm gonna throw some floor dry under there so I don't have to lay in the wet. And then we're gonna see if I can see that drain pipe from the bottom. It's looking pretty tight back there, so I might have to pull out the intake. Which is gonna be a whole endeavor, cause I don't know how any works. It's gonna be a learning curve. Anyways, this isn't gonna be much of a tutorial as it is gonna be how the do I make this work. But it'll be good. I work on old vehicles, which I'm more or less confident in because they're a lot simpler. This is a 2002 Ford F-150. The 2002 Ford F-150 4x4 represents a generation of trucks that cemented Ford's reputation for building dependable workhorses. Designed for reliability and built to handle the demands of farms, ranches, construction sites, these trucks earned the trust through strength and simplicity. Powered by the Triton V8, they were known to keep running strong well into high mileage. Through the years of heavy use, often led to corrosion in the cooling system, just like the issue I am tackling here with this truck. I still can't get my eyes on a clear spot where it's coming out of, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start disassembling the top of the motor, getting the intake off, and hopefully it is this pipe that runs under the intake that is leaking. And if it's not, at least when I get it off, I'll be able to see what is. I don't work on anything this new generally. It's gonna be learning a bit. It's got, you know, it's not carbureted, so it's got a different fuel system than I know, and it's got lots of sensors and coils and wires. So as we're taking this apart, I'm gonna be very careful. I'm gonna probably number everything with just some tape, which is like if you guys are out there learning and doing this stuff yourself, you're more than capable of doing it. It's just like you gotta stay organized, take lots of pictures. So I'm gonna take some pictures of the top so I know where everything goes. There's lots of other YouTube channels out there that do tutorials, so I'll probably be looking at some of those so I can get a good idea of what I'm doing. So yeah, we're gonna see how this goes after the rad fluid drains. I'm gonna see if I can see that pipe in the back, and if I can't, we'll start ripping it apart. Worst case scenario. Hopefully it doesn't go that way. Anyway, pray for your girl. Like it's leaking right above the starter. And that part was all coming down. I don't want to just start taking apart till I've actually found at least where it's coming from, just in case it's not what I think it is. But I'm almost wondering if I take the starter off just so I can see up there. I'm still just trying to get like eyes on a visible leak. Like I know it's pissing out back there. All right, so I'm just getting the first pieces out. I've got my tape and my Sharpie, and I'm just labeling everything from, you know, like starting at 1 and however many pieces I take off. Okay. Oh my god, dude. What is that for? Is that it? I'm grabbing my safety glasses.
Yeah.
Like it's leaking right above the, well, I can't even see. It's just so tight up in here. So like I'm pretty sure it is that pipe, right? I sprinted up to Mike's, by the way, I won. To get this breaker bar. Just went to get this alternator belt. Down here, they just have a little 1/2-inch hole that you can stick this in and just pry it, and that takes the tension off of the belt. Pretty cool. Okay, so belt's off, hose is off. It's just a part of the alternator. Alternator is out. Look at all that space. All right, I might need you to grab this from me. Now we're gonna take off this hose because I can get to it.
Yoink it real good.
Yeah, well, and also if you can get in there with like a pick, like I did with that big one, and wrap it around, or you can grab onto it with this and just give it a little spin. Got a couple more wires that need to come off here, and then I can start taking the coils out. After that, it's taking off this intake. Oh, and fuel hoses. So these have a weird connector on the end of these fuel lines. So I don't have the tools to take them apart. So I just ordered that from Lorco, and those are gonna be in, hopefully in the next Lorco run. So I'm hoping half an hour. Hopefully I don't wreck anything taking this apart, because that would suck. I don't know where it went though, so I'm just gonna... Oh, I lost that. There's like this retaining clip, even though it's not the retaining clip that actually keeps the fuel hose on. Anyways, it's a secondary safety retaining clip. And I popped it off and it just went, pew! No. Oh, look at that. You actually can't lose these things. They're attached with a tiny little wire. The only thing on this truck that engineer did right, it's actually got a tiny little wire on it connected to the back of the line, so you can't lose it. So I'm looking for it with my magnet, and then I was like, oh, look at this, I found it. I'm like, oh, it's attached. Anyways, the more you know. But now I gotta go in with the new tool I just bought from Lorco. I ran into a couple things that I needed that I didn't have, one being a 7mm wrench or anything. So Kat brought me one today. And then the other thing I needed was wobbly socket. So I stopped and bought that this morning because I did not have one. So I got this new tool. This is for taking off like airlines and gas lines. So we're gonna try these out. These ones are the cheap ones, they're plastic. You can get them in metal as well, but I don't work on a bunch of new stuff, so I just got the cheap set. So these were like $19.99 from Lorco. So it's a pretty good price, and they have a bunch of different sizes. We'll see, I don't even know what size these lines are. So yeah, you just push this, and they're supposed to pop out. Maybe. Okay, maybe that's the wrong size. Let me see what this package says. I've never used this tool before, so give me a... Yeah, so... Push the tool down, push it down. Yeah, you just push it down and it's supposed to come off. Okay. Okay. I don't know, man. Let me try the next size up, maybe. Maybe this is the wrong size. I don't think so, though. It looks like it fit on there pretty well. I don't know, new tool. We'll see. The guy in the video made it look easy. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely this one. It's just... this frickin' truck. Also, why do you need a 7mm and an 8mm? Yeah, there's a plastic frickin' thing. My goddamn. It's me in this truck. We're beefing currently, if anybody's curious. I've named this truck Johnny. We were buddies up until this happened. I think I was pushing on the tool too hard. Not necessary, you just gotta like kind of push it in there snug and then you pull back on the line. The guy in the video was like pushing on it quite hard and then pulled the line in and popped it out, but I think it was just too much pressure. So I watched a different video on a guy using it and then went and it was like literally like a second and it was off. So you just use your air, learning new tools, nothing wrong with that. Okay, look at that, easy peasy. So yeah, not very much tension at all that you need. Don't push too hard. That seems to be the way, is just using light pressure. Okay, now I just have to take off the rest of these bolts holding the intake on, and I believe that's it. And then we can just pull it off. The ones on the thermostat housing, and then there's a handful of bolts all through here that just have to get pulled out. Then we're ready to take the intake off. So now all that's left to do is take out the intake bolts themselves. I'm gonna start from the front and work my way back. I do have a piece of cardboard here that I'm gonna put, I believe there's like 9 bolts that have to come out. Some of them are different sizes and they go in a different orientation. So I just have a piece of cardboard here and I'm gonna poke 9 holes in it that are kind of in line with this. And then when I'm done with my bolts, I can just stick them in this piece of cardboard and it keeps them in line so I don't have to remember exactly which bolts came out of where. Well, I've got the intake off. Victory will be mine. Look at this. Okay, what a monstrosity. Put this guy on the ground. Now that I've got this intake in, I'm gonna set it on the ground over there and inspect it, see exactly where my leak was coming from. I was pretty sure it was that tube, but it also could be the back here somewhere. So we're just gonna take a look at everything, make sure nothing's cracked. Sometimes the plastic on these cracks. I'm just gonna give it a look over. And you can see that there's water on that. Now let's look at that pipe. There is a massive mouse house sitting soaked in coolant underneath of the intake, which is gross. I'm gonna need a vacuum and some gloves and get all this mouse house out of here. It's gross. Kind of looks like it's leaking there at the back. I mean, it might be leaking somewhere here, but I almost got to get the water out to see. Yeah, I'm gonna get a shot vac, put some more water in the reservoir and see if I can see it leak out of that tube. But I'm also seeing it's pretty wet inside a lot of these things, so it could just have been a blown seal because that seal is damaged there, but it doesn't really look wet here. Yeah, my next step is I'm gonna be washing this out, cleaning it up a bit, hitting it with some brake clean and just seeing if I can see a leak in that pipe, but it might have just been this seal here. So anyways, it's so full of grease, I gotta clean this up. All right, I had to take a rip to the Canadian Tire and buy a shop vac. Mceown. Alright guys, so we found our culprit. It is leaking out of that pipe and it's right where, I think it's a return line from the heater core is where it's leaking out of. I don't know if the pipe's rotten off at that little T-section or if it's just a bad hose clamp. If we did all this for a bad hose clamp, it's gonna be pretty sad, but is what it is because we can get back there with the intake on it anyways. But yeah, I'm gonna finish getting that hose clamp off and just see if it's a clamp or if that pipe's rotted. If it's rotted, I'm gonna pull it out, see if I can weld it, because if I can weld it up, it is a steel pipe. That means I don't have to go buy another $100 and whatever pipe. So I've got a couple more things to take off just to get access at where it's leaking from. I'm really freaking frustrated with this truck right now. Everything is seized. It's all aluminum and steel put together. I can't get these stupid bolts out. It has the stupidest setup at the back of this motor. It's like a nut on a stud with a plate in the middle and then another nut. Bolt, bracket, bolt.
Oh my
Bolt, bracket,
God.
bolt? Really? You and your family and the horse that rode in on. Really? No, thank you. I can't get it. I'm gonna walk away and Kat's gonna try. I don't think she's gonna be able to get it out, but whatever, she can give it a shot. Kat's trying her hand at the stuck bolt after I got lots of frustration.
You broke something?
Or
Oh. Well, I hope that's not the case. You think you got it?
A little bit of luck and a lot of f***ing hammer, you can get any bolt undone.
Hell yeah. You did it!
Yeah!
I got the bolt out.
Yeah, I can feel it coming out. I'm so fucking happy right now. I can spin it with my fingers now.
Don't drop the bolt either.
I know. That's why I'm like, I gotta do it with my fingers. I was a piercer at some point, so I do have pretty nimble fingers.
There's always that one frickin' bolt. And on this truck, it was every frickin' bolt. I need more tools. I need more get into small place tools. Old cars, not that bad. New cars, what the f?
Way easier. This is no bueno.
Yeah, now there's just one more bolt that we have to do the same thing to.
What? I got the whole thing out.
Oh, you got the whole stud out.
Ooh, look at it. I may have stripped it.
Whatever, we'll
How
figure.
did I do that with plastic?
So that's the guy, came out as a stud. Or well, I guess that's actually how it's supposed to come out because it changes threads. So anyways, no, you did it right. It is a little stripped, but we will figure that out later. That's future us problems.
All right, so now this pipe is out. Well, bolts are out. Let's get this. Okay, that's
Full of water.
Oh no!
Hold
Do you want to
the
get the vacuum?
Yes.
Okay. All right, okay, all right. All for that teeny tiny frickin' hole right there. So now we're gonna install the new pipe. I'm gonna clean up some more of this fluid, clean up the connections a little bit, and then I'll throw the new pipe in. All right, guys, so we're just about to install this new pipe. That is our guy, so this is the old one. You guys saw the tiny little hole that caused all of these problems. So yeah, this is the new one. So this end goes to another little pipe there, and I think that's the output for the water pump. This slides over that. I'm gonna use some of the right stuff and I'm gonna put it around that pipe in there before I slide this on. And this is gonna act like a little seal in there. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit on the outside of that collar before I slide this in. My grandpa is basically a master mechanic and he said, use this shit on everything. And it's gotta be the right stuff. Don't go with whatever generic. This stuff is more expensive than your generic gasket maker, but this shit works. And it's high quality. They have different variations of it for different applications, but you gotta make sure that you're using the right stuff, okay? It's not hard to remember because it's the right stuff. Yeah, there you go. I've also already sandpapered this pipe right here and cleaned it off with brake clean to make sure that there's no oil or anything stuck on there. Okay, so now this pipe, I'm gonna kind of get it to the place it needs to be. Come on, get back there. Maybe we'll go on here first and then we'll get that. Oh, I'm gonna have to climb in there. Okay, there we go. Move that wire out of the way. And that's that new pipe installed. Putting the pipe, taking it in and out is the easiest part. I'm gonna connect a couple of the wires, connect the heater hoses back to that piece. Then we are going to prep the block for the intake manifold. Everything's cleaned up, the new pipe is in. I hooked up the hoses that sit behind the intake, so that's all done. So next up is putting back in the intake, and I've got new intake manifold gasket. The kit comes with a couple other gaskets here too. It comes with a new throttle body gasket, a new, what do you call it? The thing that tells you when your engine water is hot. thermostat, there you go. A new thermostat gasket. I'm tired, guys. I'm sick of this truck. I didn't know what this was, but this is for a throttle body spacer if you have one. So the kit also comes with that. These have little lineup pins to make it really easy to line up. So anyways, I'm gonna take the first one. I'm just gonna dry fit this. I also did dry fit my intake to make sure that I was gonna be able to slip it in without wrecking these. It's gonna be a little bit of a struggle to get it back in there, but I can do it without wrecking these gaskets. So I'm just gonna dry fit these. They have little lineup pins that inset into this block. I just wanna make sure that they're the right ones. So I'm just gonna set this here for now and just make sure it looks like it's gonna be a good fit. I do like that. Okay, so that's it just sitting on there. Now I'm actually gonna take this off and I am going to put some my right stuff, just a tiny little bit around the edges. It is not necessary. It doesn't say that you have to do that, but I was always told that you should just use that stuff on everything. So yeah, now I'm just going to take a little bit of this right stuff. I've also cleaned everything with brake clean, so there's no oil or residue left on the intake or on this. I'm just gonna put like literally such a tiny amount that it's probably not gonna matter much. Just on the outside of where it seals. I'm really hoping that I don't mess up one of these seals because they're really expensive and I won't know if they're messed up until it starts leaking. So I'm gonna do just a tiny bead like that and then I'll go in with my finger and just, you know, give it a little smush. This is gonna act like a glue. And yeah, so I'm gonna finish doing all this and get this put down in there and then I'll do the other side. All right, so the gaskets are all gooped up. So now it's just time to put the intake on. I'm gonna have Kat pull the one pipe out of my way because that's the only thing that kind of snags on. Make sure I got this all straight. I'm gonna do this very carefully without fucking anything up. So help me God. Okay. Yeah, not yet. Here, you can move your hand out of there just for a sec. And then when I get it to here, yeah, no. You pull that, get that under there, pull this out of the way. Yeah, sitting flush. Okay, so that's a new intake in, and now we gotta go back in with all of our bolts. I did forget that I needed to replace that one longer pump bolt. But anyways, I'm just gonna go in and start just getting these in the holes, like threading them by hand. And then gonna make them just snug with my hands, and I'm gonna start, these gaskets say specifically that you start at the back of the intake and work your way forwards, tightening them down hand tight, and then you start from the middle when you do your torque. These gaskets are supposed to be torqued to 22 pounds. So one of the things you have to be careful with, so that's a vacuum line. I want to say it's like a low, how it's bent there. It must be like not super high vacuum, so I might be able to get away with this. But the difference between like vacuum line and other lines is that it's how much it takes to compress the tube. So if there's high vacuum, it might collapse the tube in on itself, and then your engine would be starving for air. This is fuel line, so it's good for fuel. It's fuel rated because fuel is corrosive. So like you have to make sure that you're using kind of the right line for what you're doing. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that. It's got basically a 90-degree bend in it, and if I do that with this, it just closes. Basically everything's together. I'm missing just this one pipe or one bit of tubing here that I had broke. It's just degraded. There's some other really degraded hoses in here too, but whatever, we're gonna see if it works. I also need to grab antifreeze, but yeah, everything's back together except for that small little piece. I haven't connected the battery yet, and yeah, needs coolant. I put all the coils in there, and I don't know, they didn't have an audible click, so there's a solid chance that when I start this truck, the coils are not doing what they're supposed to be. I can still reach them from up top. I try to get them in there best I can, but that's my only other concern. And then obviously leaks. I hope it doesn't leak. So yeah, that's where we're at. This time it doesn't start. All right. The time is here, the truck is back together. I have a couple concerns to if I installed everything back correctly. There's a few things I struggled with, including the coils. So we're gonna try to start this truck up and see if it runs, and hopefully there's no water in the oil when I start it. I hear a little bit of a tick, but that must be an exhaust tick, I think. Oh yeah, for the next 3 months, I'm gonna be like, oh God, did I mess something up? It's just a seatbelt light.
Oh my God.
How many of us, like, probably in 16 hours for a pinhole? Probably a lot faster if you know what you're doing, but I do not. But now I do. I could do it way faster a second time. First time was, I was telling Kurt, it's kind of like here in Canada, on one side of the box it's French and on the other side of the box is English, and you look at the French side and you kind of know what it says, but you don't really know what it says. That's what it's like looking at this motor. It's like, you know, it's like recognizable, but I don't freaking understand it. You really need that many wires and vacuum lines? It was almost as bad as a Corvette. Almost as bad as a Corvette. Not as bad as a Corvette, but almost. It started up a bit rough. It wasn't really wanting to turn over and go. Oh no. But after I pumped the gas a little bit, it fired right up. It shook and every single light on the dash came on and then simultaneously went away, and it seems to be running really good. So I'm gonna let this heat up to temperature, make sure that my thermostat is still working, because that was something I also had concerns about. And we'll go from there. Let's see if it'll overheat or not, and let's see if I have any oil or coolant leaking into places it shouldn't be. Yeah, there used to be a check engine light on, but that's off. Temperature gauge has not moved yet. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes, and if I don't see this, oh, is it starting to climb? We're starting to climb a little bit on the, starting to get to temp. Yeah, I really wanna make sure I watch the temperature, because I also wanna see when the thermostat opens, or if it opens. I'm just gonna grab a rag and check the rest of my fluid. Oh, just my oil. Let's check the oil and make sure that there's no water in it, and then we'll call it a day. I also forgot how half of the truck went back together, even though I did label most of it. So to my surprise, I'm a freaking genius. Even though that this wasn't really that complicated a job, but you've never done it before. It's an accomplishment. The system's sealed. I'm not seeing any water in the oil or vice versa. So I think I did it, and I'm really, really shocked that it worked out. It's also how I feel after every paint job though, because nobody actually really taught me how to paint, and every time I paint and it comes out great, I'm like, frig, I should do this for a career. Haha. Yeah, all's good. Now we just gotta clean up our big mess in the shop, and we'll be good to go. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to keep seeing me struggle. And that's kind of the end of it today. I'm super happy that I was able to do this. I obviously walked into this not knowing how to do this job, but I can confidently say I could replicate doing it again and a lot faster than next time.